This is Jeannie again, and we're going to make this pretty card today that I entitled Thoughts of Summer. I'm making it for the Bitten by the Bug design team challenge, and the cartridges I used on this were Everyday Paper Dolls for the fish. I used Doodle Charms for the sun, for the waves and the flip-flops, and the leaf here. I used Life is a Beach, and I used George for the squares, and I welded some squares to the waves. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And that's what I used for that. And this is what the inside looks like. This is also for a friend of my daughter's. Her name is Katie, and her mother loves flip-flops, and she wanted a Mother's Day card for her. So it's going to be her mother's Mother's Day card. Here's how we're going to get started today. This is the sun from Doodle Charms. And I'm just going to use my tape gun here. And he's going to go directly on the background piece. Oh, first let me tell you about these pieces. The card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then the frame piece is this piece right here. It is 4 by 5 1/4, and it's on the inside too, the exact same pattern. The background piece is this piece right here, and it's 3 1/2 by 3 3/4 inches, and it's on the inside too, and it's the same pattern of paper. And then the extra piece on the inside is the sentiment piece, and it's 2 3/4 by 4 inches. Okay. First thing we did was we're going to add the sun, and it's going to go off the page just a little bit there. I like things that go off the page some. It just adds character to your card. And then next we're going to add the tallest wave piece. And I doodled some dots on here. I use white paint on this one, but lots of times I use a gel pen. And I inked around the edges, and I'll show you a little bit how to do that. On my blog for inking around the edges of your card, there is another video called Inking Cards by Jeannie Phillips that you can go and check out if you need to. I've added pop dots to the back of this. I like to add some to the center where it won't press down when I'm working with it. I'm going to put it on the card right here. Like that. And then you have dimension here behind your waves. And then this piece we did the exact same thing to it, except when I welded the rectangle to the waves, I made this rectangle a little bit shorter on my gypsy. And that way you'd have dimension here and 2 rows of waves. I'll add this ribbon to this, and I went ahead and marked the back where I would know where to put my double-sided tape. And I'll stick this on right here, go across the front, and stick it on the other side. Don't pull it too tight. There you go. And then we're going to add pop dots to this also. I love the clear pop dots, like the Zots dots. That way when you get a side view of your card, they're not just shining out really white. But you can use the foam dots. I know that one lady on the message board, she uses foam dots, and she takes time to color the sides of her foam dots where they won't show. Okay. We're going to pop this onto that, like so. Okay, and then I have these 2 pieces with the flip-flops. They're going to go on each end, like this. I marked the top because my squares weren't perfectly square. That way I didn't get one that was a little, I already did one of these cards where one of them I turned sideways. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I ink. Put this piece together. Just ink around the edges really quick like this. I use a brown water-based dye ink. I use that on most of my cards. Sometimes it calls for black, and every once in a while I use color. But I've already inked around the waves, the background pieces, the sun. I inked around the flip-flops before I put them on. I inked around their square. I add a little extra ink to the stem and turn it brown. Ink around this piece. It was out of the same color paper, and I just used an olive color ink, dabbed on the top where you'd have contrast for this. I'm going to use my quilling glue to glue this on. Help if I take the pin out. I love quilling glue for little pieces. Just put that right there. And then I'm going to the quilling glue to the back of this. Make sure what the top is. Add it. This little square is going to need 2 pop dots. So I'm going to place that in the center. Right there. Going to add this little piece of ribbon and tie it. Close down. Use my scissors and trim off the ends. Added a little nice touch to this card. Oh, I meant to make that a point. There we go. Make this one shorter. There we go. And then I made these little fish. I already inked around these little fish. And then I added a piece of brown ink to all the little cuts that are in the fish and to his little eye. And then I went over that with glitter. I've already done that and let it dry. I'm going to stick these on that second row of waves. Like these little fish are jumping up out of the water. Take it in like that. There you go. So they're popped up. We've got all kinds of dimension on this card. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see it on the still pictures that are on my blog, www.aplaceformycards.blogspot.com. There'll be side pictures, side views, and a front view on my blog. Also on my blog, there's complete and gypsy and cricket instructions for you to read. They're all written out, and you can even print them out and go from there. I cut out some little flip-flops for the inside. I always like an element from the outside to be on the inside, and then this matching paper, so when you open up the card, it's exciting too. There you go. That's our finished card. And I'd love it if you visit my blog and leave a comment. I love your comments. They just make my day. Always remember to glorify God in your work and visit my blog at www.aplaceformycards.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for looking and have a wonderful day.